So, Patrick, how dare the Chicago Cubs uh, come to Wrigley Field North? Their
Yes,
fans are all there. Big
yes.
expectations against the sort of woeful Twins, and then the Twins kick their butt right in front of all of their home fans from the
Yeah,
Cubs.
well, the butt kicking didn't occur until the eighth, but
That's true.
whoever that guy was, but he's. Hey, I wonder if he'll be there this evening. I would doubt it very much. Is that guy pitched for him? I never heard of him, but he must
Yes.
be one of those 13th pitchers that they use once in a while. But yeah, it was a very clean ball game. God, what a glorious night at the yard, though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Perfect. It was my. My wife and all her siblings were there last night, and I was supposed to join them, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Well, I got to write here. It'll be a couple hours." By the time I got done, the game was oh, it was the eighth inning. That game was flying until the eighth inning, but it was a beautiful night, man. I got a question for these people. She got there like at 5:15 or so, and 5 o'clock, and the gates. Why don't they open the gates at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and have people come in and drink and eat?
Yeah. I
On a
think
night
I
like
think
that.
they do that on is it Friday or Saturdays? I think
I'm
one of the days they open a little earlier.
I'm saying the Cubs are coming to town.
Yeah.
You're going to have 30,000 people. They're
Right.
going to be half of them from Cubs land wandering around town. They're going to be stopping somewhere to drink. Why don't you get them in your ballpark and sell them $15 beers? Because they're not going to, if they paid to come up here and they paid for tickets and they go to Wrigley, they aren't going to whine about buying $15 beers. Make some money. We need a new president of that team. I think I'm throwing my hat in the ring, man. I think so, huh?
So last
I,
night I got two beers and a bag of peanuts, $52.
what?
Oh my God.
What kind of beer did you buy?
Declan's favorite, Kona.
Konas?
Two
Love me some
Kona
Oh,
big
Konas.
waves and a bag of peanuts, $52.
what's that? So what is a Kona Big Wave 20?
Was it a tall boy, Judd?
No, it was on tap pour.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm,
How
I'm
much
not
were the
joking.
peanuts?
They must have been a lot. I didn't look. You're at a ball game.
Oh my
It's
God.
You're at a ball game.
oh, yeah, you basically paid a buck a peanut. That's
Yeah.
Yes,
pretty
Yes.
I
Yes.
expensive.
did.
That's pretty
Oh, that's
expensive.
awesome.
Do they now if you want to sneak your own peanuts into the ballpark, can you do that or not? Can you bring in food or don't they allow
You
that
can
or not?
bring in water and you can I think you can bring in some stuff. I can't
Okay.
remember what it
Okay.
is though.
No, well, I got to make an announcement though. I'm going to stop complaining about taking Simeon Woods-Richardson out for no apparent reason because they're going to do it. And when they get eight shutout innings, it's hard to complain, right? I mean, it looks stupid. If I was him, I'd be offended, but it works. So what
Yeah.
the hell? And Kaloum is the lefties are coming up. They want to go that way. So it worked last night. But he's back even without the guys being hurt. He's back in the rotation now. I mean, he
Yeah, he's
has
good.
he had what one reasonably one clunker since he's been here. The
Yeah,
rest of them
barely.
have been
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
he's and hey, two things. Number one, Caleb Thielbar having a very nice year at the
yes,
Cubs. And
yes,
I was looking at this guy's stats last night. Steven Okert has been incredible in Houston.
really.
He has a whip of
Wow.
like .6. He has been awesome.
Another another former Twin. I talked to Caleb for just a minute, and we were all in the clubhouse talking to Michael Bush, who's a quiet kid and got surrounded. But Caleb looks great, smiling. They live in Chicago now. They got a little place in Chicago. Him and the wife and the baby, and he's a phenomenal story, really, because he had to establish himself twice. I mean, the he was out at what the
5
when they
years.
cut him the first time, he was out like 5 years, and he comes back. Mama, let your baby be a left-hander.
That's right.
That's what I want to say. But yeah, it'll be fun, and they'll have a nice night again tonight. They'll have a big. I bet they have a little bigger crowd. There'll probably be more Chicago fans there because coming up for later in the weekend tomorrow afternoon. They should have a big crowd too. So it's pretty dang good. It's fun to have them in town, and it as much as we love to complain about the Twins, there was nothing to complain about last night except $52 for two beer and a peanut.
And
I'll
peanuts.
complain about that. I'll complain about those beer prices. So, Patrick, do you think that is this still the WGN crowd? I mean, they haven't been on GN in years now. Like the Cubs are literally one of America's teams in baseball.
Yeah, I think it's.
What is it?
I think it's Wrigley. I think if you go there in the summer, and the summer being a week before Memorial Day to middle of September, you just have a good time. I think it's just kind of makes you feel good about baseball. And if they get beat, so what? But if you get a nice day there and the wind's blowing out or
Yeah.
the wind's blowing in or everything, it's just it it brings you back to baseball, and people are crowded. There's always the fact that there's always 35,000 people there helps too, right? I mean, it's a pain in the ass driving. It's a pain in the rear end, you know, getting in and out, but it makes you feel like you're at an event, right?
Yeah.
I think it's Wrigley. The funny thing is, though, when we all discovered the Cubs with WGN and the early cable years, they were drawing 6,000 those afternoon games. First of all,
Yep.
they could never have day night games for a long time, and then they could only have Friday. Was it Friday night game?
I
Only
think it
one
was
night away.
18 a year originally or something
18
like
a
that. It was
year. Yeah, right.
capped by the
Yeah, and,
neighborhood.
and then they and
People
then
be
for a
kicked
long
out.
time they couldn't have a Friday night game, right? They couldn't do it
Correct.
on Friday night
3 o'clock Fridays they played.
do they still do that?
Crazy.
I don't know, but they
I
started
don't think
playing
so.
at 3 at the time.
Yeah, yes, because the community didn't want all that traffic
The,
of
the
course
neighborhood.
the neighborhood had a lot of influence, but isn't that part of it? You're just walking down the street and all of
Yeah.
a sudden there's a ballpark. If you
Yeah,
park
you're
on
right.
the other side of town, I think it's Wrigley. I think it's uh, when they were mad at the owner at first, right? When he came in and he started charging these outrageous prices, and he redid the whole, as I say, when you're walking in the gate, the left side of the street there. There's the right side of the street. Some of the old bars are still there, but I mean, man alive, it's and we all the stories that people made up after they won the World Series. I went and watched it with my grandpa at the cemetery and stuff like that. Listened to the game at the cemetery and all that crap that we had to read. I mean, the Cub fans love that stuff, even though I'm going, oh, shut up, But but it's guess what? Grandpa doesn't know they won the World Series. Okay, Grandpa's been dead for 20 years. He doesn't know they won the World Series. So,
Patrick,
but yeah.
it was just the second crowd yesterday that was over 30,000 since opening day.
Oh, really? I
Yep.
thought they'd hit it again the other day, but okay.
No,
No.
yes. So they had a near sellout, not a sellout on opening day. They had a crowd of 32,000. Judd, I think when it must have been a promotion. It was like a Saturday late May game. They got
Might have been
32
Yeah.
bobblehead day probably, and then this was just the second 30,000 crowd since opening day.
Hey, what? I didn't look. What was? Yeah, I know that they'll have two more here, and then they're going to be few and far between. But uh, I mean, there was nothing to complain about being at the ballpark. And if they got beat 8-6 last night, it would have been a great night to be at the ballpark. But
Mm-hmm.
what was the distance on Jeffers' home run? I didn't look.
I think 420, but
He
man, that
was
thing
he started trotting when the ball
crushed it.
left the bat. Man,
I was
he
standing
really
or I
killed it.
so we we had the good seats about 7 rows up behind the dugout, and he crushed it, and he just stood there and admired it.
Yes.
He didn't move.
No. Yeah. I mean, he knew it was. Well, I looked for the ball, and then I looked back, and by then he was going very slow. But that ball was killed. Yes. And but the fact that Woods-Richardson made it stand up for that long. He's an interesting case study, and he's a nice enough kid, right, Declan? But he doesn't really say a lot. But it's a it's kind of the mentality of sports, isn't it? That you get the job and you're tense and nervous because you're trying to keep it, and your mind is full of thoughts about, boy, I better pitch good. I got to establish myself, and then they send you out, and then you come back with the hell with it. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
that's. I mean, I'm not sure that's what it is, but you've seen that in athletics so much that the guy that says, he feels the pressure of the basketball player. You see it a lot, and then all of a sudden they say, yeah, the hell with it, and they go back to giving themselves a chance with their abilities, and that's what's happening with him. And I think now, if he goes out there and gets the hell kicked out of him someday, he'll be fine 5 days later.
Yeah, he's gotten a little bit more. Oh, I think he's mixing in the splitter a little bit more. And then his velocity, although not world beating, has jumped up a little bit. He's always been a very animated pitcher on the mound. And I feel like the more he feels himself and the more confidence he gets, he's going to be all right. He's
But
going to be okay.
I just see a guy who's not nervous about every pitch that he's thrown. I thought early in the year when things started going bad, he
Yeah.
really didn't give himself a chance, and now he's. I mean, it's great that it took an injury, but they got him back. So if the rookie Keishel comes back here in a week or so, 2 weeks or so, who's out? Who's out
Oof.
then? Brooks Lee's playing good. I mean, Brooks Lee's
Lee's been
good
great.
for him. Yeah, Wallner's on guys on probation now.
Yeah.
I
And
can't see them dumping him though. So.
and they won't. All Cody Clemens does is hit game-winning and go-ahead home
Yes.
runs.
Yeah, well, he's hitting about 150.
You know what?
Last month, but he still hits a home run when you want it. So.
You know what? I don't know if they'd even be able to trade him, or they could dump him for nothing. But do you really need Ty France?
Yeah,
Do you need Ty France?
He's turned into the Ty France that you got for $1 million.
And you can put Cody and Keishal. They've been very. He's played a little first base, but they put Clemens at first. Keishal could place him first.
I don't know if they'll ever get.
Don't you just send Kersey back down to St. Paul?
You can also do that, which I have no idea why he's here.
I'm sure they would. I was thinking though that they needed. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
He pinch runs.
Simple enough. That's right. And I don't know what it is. Oh, by the way, somebody reported to me Emmanuel played last night and was fantastic.
He's great, Pat. You should see him.
I know.
Get there quick.
I'm going to the game tomorrow. You think he'll still be healthy? I want to go watch Marco Rhea pitch because he was like awful. And now he's been really good for a month, and I could never figure out how he stayed on the 40-man all the time because he had a 10 ERA for about 2.5 years. I want to go see him pitch.
He's turning 23 years old next month. I mean, he's still very young. And
they're only letting him. He's the Simeon Woods-Richardson of St. Paul because they only let him go 5 innings.
Yeah,
but
he's got really good swing and miss. I think there's probably a better reliever in there than as a starter, but he's 22. You can't pull the plug quite yet. I think on him being a starter.
But you did look at his numbers and say, ah.
Yeah.
So I did have a chance to look up. Keone Kabako.
I was going to ask you about this.
My Mike Bush column.
That was awesome.
Kiki Cucaracho.
Keone Kabako. He's 13th pick. They had 13th pick. You get a good. You should be 70% on a 13th pick, right? The guy hit 100 more than he hit 200, but it was the Houston Astros claim they released him last June, so this is 5 years in, The Astros made him a pitcher when he got there, and then they couldn't do that. But he's now pitching for the Chicago Dogs in the old American Association, which
Yes.
our boys used to be in. But that's you know, when you look at Walter was the second or was a 39th pick in that draft, and so it wasn't a terrible draft when you look at it. But when your first one is that rotten, it's Calvin used to miss on him because he was cheap. He didn't want to have to pay him. But these guys, I can't understand how you miss on them as often as you do when you go back and look at it. Oof. But
Yeah.
this is one of the all timers. He never got out of low A, I don't think. So
So Pat, what's weird though is so the Dodgers, as you wrote in your column, took Michael Bush,
yeah,
but look what the Cubs got him for.
yeah. Oh, hardly anything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, and this kid's turned out to be a hell of a player.
yeah. He is. He's left-handed power, and he's turned into a decent. He was an infielder. He played second and third
Yep.
mostly at North Carolina, so he's got good hands. He's okay at first base, and they love him in Chicago. So he's not quite the hero that I didn't realize. Crow Armstrong he's only 23. I didn't realize that.
Well,
I thought
That Mets trade is going to kill him for a long
oh
time. The
oh
Baez trade, which is
yes.
where they got him from.
Oh, was that right? That was
Yeah,
Javi Baez
that's how
to
they
the
got him.
Mets.
What is he doing starting at shortstop? Okay, he's had a comeback year of some
He's
extent,
playing
but
center field before.
he's well, yeah, yeah.
He was.
But he's had a comeback year. But what the hell is he doing in the All Star game? It's the numbers keep going down all the time too. I guess they're looking for. He has the advantage of having been in two leagues. That's a prominent player in two leagues is what that helps in the All Star voting, I think. So
I
anyway,
guess. I guess.
our how so is are we sure Skeens is going to pitch Saturday since they want him to pitch? I mean, he can pitch and then pitch one inning Tuesday, right? I mean, they're going to start him, right?
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Even though he's going to probably start the All Star game, I'm just wondering. For years that's been fine. If you did it that way, but they're
Right.
so paranoid now about pitchers. I'm wondering if he pitches 7 innings here Saturday and throws 100 pitches, if they're afraid to use him in the All Star. If that eliminates him from one inning on Tuesday, even though usually that's a throwing day anyway. So.
And I was going to say, so selfishly, I don't care what takes place in the All Star game because
No.
that Saturday matchup with him and Joe Ryan could be a
Yes.
lot of fun.
Plus, the girlfriend might show up. Who knows?
It's
Livy?
true too. Livy.
Yeah.
Oh, she travels? I didn't know if she
don't
traveled or
think
not.
she does, but if I was the Twins, I'd pay her airfare to come in, maybe an appearance fee or something. So
Yeah,
that
sweet
would, that
maybe.
would, yeah, hot steamy day at Target Field. Oof, it's gonna be. I see we got a slight chance of rain Friday and Saturday, but this is the last great homestand of the year, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I think we're going to get humid again on tomorrow for the day game as well. So
okay. But yeah, it's a it was just a great night at the ballpark. It was fantastic, and the fact that the Twinks that who was the pitcher? Ethan, what was that? It
Oh
was
yeah, the Cubs guy.
BP. Who
was
was
it
Oh
it?
my.
Hodge? He's
Yeah.
pitched like
Yeah.
28 games.
You
Yeah.
know when you gotta feel bad when you get hooked and they bring in a position
Oh, yeah.
player. There's 2 outs, and they
Yep.
have so little faith in you getting the third out. They bring in a position player to get the third. Or were there only one? There was only one out,
There's
right?
one out, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, well, because they had the 3 home runs and the 6 runs, and he didn't have an out yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. And a packed press box. I mean, Pat, I haven't seen the press box that packed since opening.
No.
I know the crowd was packed, but you had the Cubs media, you had the Japanese media, you had everyone in there yesterday.
you know what? Does cause though, because I was, I had the bride, so leaving after the game, you get that A ramp is about 45 minutes max
yeah.
minimum getting out of there. It was awful.
For
It was awful.
$25 to park, your car should like be
Yes.
airlifted out of the ramp and put safely on 394.
Oh God! So if I throw in parking, you have spent $77 with 2 beers and a peanuts. That's
I don't know how
bad.
people afford to go to games consistently. I don't get it.
I don't get it, and I think tickets are high priced, but you can handle those. But the concessions, I can't believe it. You know what I used to like to have when they first opened? A nice Murray's sandwich. You'd go down there and
Ooh,
get the
yeah.
theory. You get 2 pieces of you used
Garlic.
to get garlic toast with it.
Yeah.
And I think she was about 12. Now you don't get garlic toast. You get French fries. Who the hell wants more French fries? The most overrated food product in
Oh, I
America.
love French fries.
I
I'm
love that
sick
take.
of them. Everybody's got them.
Garlic
They're
are
all the same. They're all overrated. Ever since Murray stopped, not Murray's, ever since McDonald's stopped cooking them in the greatest greasy, unhealthiest grease ever, there hasn't been a good French fry.
Thanks,
And
Obamas. Thanks for
but
that one.
anyway, it's it's 20. It's now the Murray thing is like $20 or something, $22. I
Well,
haven't
20 is
had
a
one.
good deal, Pat.
I
You
might
should
I
take
might go
that.
get that. Where is that? Is that lower level?
It's I think right out of the press box. Take a left down there. That used
Okay.
to be there. Is it still there?
Yeah,
I was
I'm
gonna say, I don't know
gonna
if it's
go
still there or
dabble.
not.
I'm gonna go dabble.
I don't know. It was a it was a fun night at the yard though. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely.
And I was leaving, and I ran directly into John Sciambi, Boog,
Boog.
and I said, and he said, "Whoa, that wasn't very good." And I said, "Hey, Boog, greatest invention since the wheel, the shot clock, the
Pitch
pitch
clock.
clock." And he
Yes.
said, "You're right about that." And he smiled and left. He and that's Deshays. Is that Deshays with him?
Jim Deshays. Yep.
Did we have him? Did we have him briefly?
Deshays?
Did we have him
No.
for a while? I thought we had him.
No,
for
he was an
5 minutes.
Astros pitcher, and then he worked for the
Yeah.
Astros.
Well, I knew he was an Astros
And-
pitcher, but
and
I
then he-
thought
he
when
went
he
to
was
the
kicking
Cubs.
around. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, anyway, boy, they got the A announcing. Getting Boog in to be your TV
Yeah.
guy was a pretty good catch because you'd a hell of a lot rather have him on TV than some of the guys we got. So anyway,
All right, sir. We'll talk to you.
another
Alrighty.
good night at the yard tonight.
Absolutely. Talk to you on Friday.
Okay, goodbye.
Thanks, Pat. Reusse Unchained here on Score North.